Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in Judges 4, verses 1 through 24. And the Israelites had failed to drive out the Canaanites. And the Canaanites were struggling to regroup and to gain the power that they lost. Now, if Israel would have obeyed God and drove out the Canaanites, this incident would have never happened. But because of a faithful woman named Deborah, she called upon the Lord. And Israel was in captivity and in unbearable circumstances for 20 years before they even cried out to God. Now, God should have been the first person they cried out to, the first person they went to. But Israel wanted to do their own thing, and then they created this huge mess. We are no different. There are times that we want to do our own thing. We want to make our own decisions, and then we get into struggles. We find ourselves in circumstances that we don't want to be in. We have confusion in our life, and it's all because we are trying to control what goes on with our life and in our life without the help of God. Now, when we find ourselves struggling, when we find ourselves in certain circumstances, then we need to seek God first. God wants us to come to Him for guidance, and God chose Deborah to lead His people. So, young or old, man or a woman, don't let your prejudiceness get in the way of those that God has chosen to lead. Now, Barak said that he would not go into battle without Deborah. So, this showed that his request meant that he was looking at the strength of humans, and he was not focused on God and God's promise. Now, a person of real faith, when God commands them to do something, they're going to step out and do it, even if they have to do it by themselves. And Deborah was responsible for leading the people into battle. But more than that, she was responsible for influencing the lives of the people for God. So after the battle, she drew, because of her personality, people were drawn to her. And she commanded the respect of Barak, which was a military general. And she was a prophet whose role was to encourage people to obey God. And those who lead must not forget about the spiritual conditions of those that they are leading. A true leader is concerned about the person, not just the success of the mission. Now, the captain was more than pleased when this lady had offered him to come into her tent, because that would have been a wonderful place for him to hide. Now, in this time, the men were not allowed to be inside of another woman's tent. So nobody would have thought to check for him there. And plus, this woman was the wife of a loyal man to his country. And so the women of that day were the ones that would set up the tents. So they were used to handling the pegs, the nail, the hammers, all of that. So as this general felt comfortable because he probably thought of the woman as a weaker sex. Maybe because he thought, this is someone under my command. She's not going to risk her own life in order to give me over to somebody else. He probably had a lot of different things going in his mind. And then, of course, once he had something to drink and he was so tired from running, he just fell fast asleep. And then, because he was asleep, it made it even easier for the lady to take the nail and hit it into his temple and kill him. Now, Deborah had already predicted that Barak's honor was going to be given to a woman. So never underestimate yourself and how God can use you to bring about His plan. May God be with you in everything and in every way.